And I started to laugh like you said it. You said don't laugh, and then I was like I can't help it. So yeah, I'm
I
sorry.
mean, no, it's okay. It's okay. Like you're allowed to have fun in here. I'm
No, no,
not a
I'm
strict
sorry for the
host.
people that didn't understand. That's all. I'm not sorry to you. I'm sorry to the people that were not here previously. I'm like, oh, sorry, I didn't like give you the proper feedback as to why I was laughing in your face. I keep reading,
Oh,
I was like,
I wanted people to keep the mystery. Like, what was she laughing about? But now you told them you're laughing at my face, so it's okay.
I guess it's because it's a mystery podcast. You want to take out the mystery into like out of everything.
No. Like she was laughing at my face because like I was gonna bring up like is my mustache scary, right? I'm like, I don't know. I'm trying to grow it, but it looks like shit.
I,
Like
I think it doesn't. I think it just looked like you were blurred in your mouth. I'm like in the other way. I don't have your. You don't have my spotlight. I can't see the details of your beard.
it looks like I just like stapled my pubes in there a little bit. But
I think your beard looks like mine.
like, I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to like get started on my
Anyways,
episodes, but it's yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'll shave it next week for the next
leave
episode.
it. No, don't shave it. You gotta stick to it.
I just my
When you
body
get
doesn't
when you
grow
become
hair over here. Like it just stays like
okay, but when
this.
you get a ball cut, you have to wait for it to grow. You can't help it. Or you're gonna be bald as all the time because you don't like seeing like what's the name of the thing? The los tucos, but it's not tucos. What's the name in English? Like the little hairs. Like if
A
you don't like it, then
little.
what are you gonna do? Shave
Oh
yourself
no, I
again?
gotta shave it. Yeah, like I don't know. Hopefully, I don't get bald by 30. We'll see.
Let it grow. Let it grow. I
Let
mean
it
your beard.
grow.
Let it grow.
Okay. No, I
Let
cannot
it
grow a beard.
grow.
I look like I haven't slept in 2 weeks. If I let it grow, no.
Grow. Let it grow. Stick to it.
It
Anyways,
looks
anyways, we've been
shitty
recording for a long time and we've been talking about your beard.
because that
It is a
is
mystery.
no. Because ladies and gentlemen, that's the intro.
We've,
What's up, people? My name is Sebastián Sierra, and welcome to a brand new show here on Hablando Shet. I mean, I've been wanting to do the show with this person for a long time. I want to do something horror related. It can be either related to movies, television show, books, short fictional stories, Tumblr posts, anything scary, anything horror related. We'll bring it here because I didn't want to do it by myself. I want to do a podcast and I want to do something. Someone is a horror expert. I'm a horror casual person trying to get into it hardcore. So I wanted to
he
bring
does
the best of the
not watch
best.
it.
I do watch it. I do watch it, but not as frequently as this person and as many of you in the community that watch horror might do. So I just want to do is
If,
bring different topics. So
say,
you heard her.
yes, present me. Present me. It's
So you
me.
heard her. She is a horror writer. She does the story. She does drawing. She's an artist, and she's also a performer. I'm talking to Omni.
Is that what you're gonna edit and put like fire?
I'll try.
Anyways,
I'll try. What's
I
up,
was I
Omni?
I was saying hi and I was like saying showing my shirt that the people that like horror will know that that's a very great horror anime. So yeah, I was like I
Ooh.
have to wear this shirt for
Wait,
today.
which
Like
anime is it? Which anime? I don't.
Uzumaki. It's an anime
Oh.
about spirals.
Ooh,
It's
arachnophobia.
really
That's
good.
cool. Okay,
Well, it's not the
I'll
anime
watch that.
actually. That's a manga, but one of the animes are like from the same writer, I guess. But yeah, whatever.
Okay,
Anyways, we're gonna
okay.
talk
I haven't seen
about horror.
it. No, but like Omni, like for the
You have
people
to
that
read
do
it.
know. Oh, I'll read it. I'll try to read manga. I've done it once or twice in my whole life, and I was like, why is
He
this all
also
out of
does not
order?
read mangas.
I was like, this is completely out of order. And I was like, oh,
So yeah,
I'm reading the wrong way.
you were reading it. Yeah, you were reading it incorrectly.
Yeah, but it was
Very, very
interesting.
wrong.
I did enjoy it. But no, like
But now you
Omni, like
know. Now,
for the
now you're
people, uh huh. For people, what?
No, what are you gonna say? What are you gonna say?
No, like I want like
You
present
never
people who
finish your
you.
sentences.
No, like present the people who you are. Because people know me. They may not know who you are. Who are you? Who are you, Omni?
Well, he did a presentation. He said most of my like what I say my bullet points of my
Mm-hmm.
essay. If like I was doing a PowerPoint with Omni, that would be the like the indice bullet points. I am a street artist. I'm also a pastry cook. I like to bake stuff, myself included. Anyways, that's just a funny joke. It's true. Why are you
Yeah.
laughing? Why are you
No,
laughing
it's
at
funny.
that?
It was
Why are you
funny.
laughing?
It was
Why
funny.
why are you telling people like anyways,
Go ahead.
I'm also a horror aficionado. I am not exactly like a writer, but I do love horror. And I've written a lot of like short stories that I will publish eventually. Wish me luck. Anyways, I'm also a singer and I've also done this before and it's been fun. And I hadn't been so nervous like I am today. But also, I'm speaking English today, so I guess that's also it. Then I feel like
Okay, okay.
shy.
Because we're both from
Um,
Puerto Rico. And so, yeah, we're not completely used to speaking English with each other, but we're doing this for all of you. So, yeah, Omni, like
yes.
you have a whole resume there. You have a lot of stuff, a lot of talents. So, horror is one of those strong suits that you like. You love horror. You love getting to that. You like writing stuff. You like drawing horror stuff. I know that. So, we're gonna talk all that stuff in here in scary shit. This is a whole horror focus podcast, so we're just gonna get into it. But for this
Scary
episode,
shit.
I want to do something that's completely interesting, something that people are talking about, but I think it would be cool just for both of us to talk about this topic. I want to talk about racial themes and racism and horror because it also relates to a show that came out about a month ago right now. I personally haven't seen it yet, but I know that you, Omni, have seen it. So I kind of wanted you to talk about the show. And of course, the show that I'm talking about came out on Amazon Prime and it is Them. No, it's not that giant ant movie from 1950s. It is a different them. Like the enemies here
You
are not ants, but
wait.
racist.
Did you really Google them and found that there was another movie? Because I when I Google it, I found it, but I thought you
no,
didn't.
no, I think I remember for years. I remember hearing this movie of them, and so when I heard, I saw a friend of mine, Double Toasted, go check it out. They were like reviewing the show. I mean, the show. I was like, are they reviewing the movie? Like, what the fuck? Like, what is? Why are they reviewing this old movie from the 50s? Okay, but they're like, oh, this is a whole show, and like I think I saw the trailer, reminding me a lot of Jordan Peele stuff. I guess we'll talk about that. But yeah, I didn't know this was a thing until a couple 1 weeks ago. So, but yeah, I thought it was like related to the movie, like the black and white ant movie. But no, this is completely
Yeah,
different,
I get
right?
it. Yeah, it is. It is. It's. Do you want me to do like a slide I don't know description of it, or with
Yeah,
my
yeah, you
some
can
of my
do like
opinions that
yeah,
are
you
not
can do your
spoilers per
review.
se?
You can do a review, but at the end of her review, if you want to see some spoilers, you can say some spoilers. So if you have not seen the show by that point,
Well,
just skip it a
I
little
think
bit.
it's good. It's very intense. It's very real. It's another perspective of what. Okay, so we've always had like from people that are not from the United States, and I guess they're not so used to like us of talking that much about what happened during the 50s in the United States because we were dealing with other stuff way before that and way after that. There were still signs in Puerto Rico saying no dogs, no niggers, no Puerto Ricans. Because that's what it said. And I think it said another one, like no
Mm-hmm.
Mexicans or something like that.
Yeah.
And the point is that those things kept happening to us. So in our history lessons, we didn't get that much emphasis in like the 50s. Maybe you did, but I didn't in school. And I guess it's another perspective because what I'm used to seeing from that and the racism that people lived in the 1950s was that well that they couldn't sit places, they couldn't be up front. And in this movie they start off, it's 1953, some around those time, I'm not sure. And it starts with those things like people are sitting places they shouldn't, they're buying a house in a white prominent, I think prominent it's like when there's a lot of it, white people, white families.
Mm-hmm.
So this black family moves into that, it's like a like a neighborhood, a nice one. It's not a private one though, but it's pretty like white dominated.
Okay.
And the family is moving, and everybody's super surprised. And it shows you that, like, that family moving somewhere where all the white people, way before the black, I guess revolution started, but it wouldn't be black. It would be like black movement. That's the word. Way before the black movement started, those family moved there. So the white people didn't know really how to like act, and they wanted them out, and they started slowly, and then it keeps increasing, because then they started to transfer their personal problems on the fact that a black family lives in their neighborhood. It's like, okay, so what's I say? Oh, so yeah, like this person, my husband left me. I'm gonna blame the family that lives there that just moved. That has nothing to do with my life. My dad, it's an abusive person. Oh, I'm gonna blame that family. It has nothing to do with my life. That's what it goes with the movie. I mean, with the series, and then they keep adding to like the intensity, and you can see how it also plays out the fact that it's a woman, a woman that's seen those stuff, and like she went through something traumatic, and she was seen like a criminal.
Okay.
And I don't know, it's just that it just follows like all the negative things that surround racism and also the violence against women. Sorry, I heard a weird sound. I don't know where it came from.
You got a ghost. Be careful.
Bye. Bye. Anyway, I think we were gonna talk about another movie, but I don't remember right now which one it was. But I know it had to do with this too. Which other movie? We were gonna talk about a movie that it had to do with
you want to bring up something
racism.
of Midsummer, right?
No, I wasn't. I was saying about the other. I think, okay. Well, so you saw, I think, what's the movie? It's not Us. Which is the movie about the dude that gets like
Oh, Get
kidnapped by
Out.
his girlfriends?
Get Out.
Get Out. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the director of Get Out, he doesn't make color people be the main characters of most of their things. Like, he makes them be the main characters, color people. It's not like it usually goes. That's like this white, very, very North American. I was gonna say a bad word because I'm horrible, but North American person that saves the day. It's always just that. And he has two friends. One of them is a color person, and then the other one is a Asian person. They don't even tell you where the person is actually from or to tell you anything. But those are the two people that always die first, the background ones, the ones that don't, or a Latino, and the colored person that's there. And the white dude is always just triumph, or the white girl. But I read somewhere that they told that director that why did he keep making well, people like that, they're main characters. And he said that he never saw people like him in the movies, and that they live horror, and they can like save the day too, and they can do that. I don't remember very well what it said, but I know it has to do with that. Like, some people don't like that his movies touch another type of perspective, just like the series Them.
Yeah, because like it's very much needed. Because like what you said, it's like horror movies for what? It's like maybe the 70s. Like, there's obviously a predominantly white cast with, sometimes they'll bring the token black character or maybe a Latino, like you said, but it's mostly like a one black character. And so it's always the stereotype that we see for horror movies for decades, like, oh, the first people that die are the black people. It's like it's a racist tendency in a way in these horror movies that they keep doing that. It's like they bring this diversity just for like saying like, hey, at least we have this diversity to kind of change it up a little bit, but we're gonna kill him first because we don't. Come on, we're not gonna make him live to the end. Like, come on, you know that. So it's something bullshit. So I like that today we kind of changed things a little bit with that, and so it seems like Them it's still keeping on the progression, right, of making this black cast look good and not anything, and he just killed him first, anything like that, or anything offensive, right?
Yeah, but I think it would be more like trying to make people seem weak.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I was kind of like tell you. I was gonna mention that's what I was gonna mention Midsummer, because they don't just use um racism to make people feel scared. They also use violence, like violence against women and stuff like that. And it all combines. It's just to make seem like a certain group of people seem weak and like get scared, because it's, well, that's what sells. People that get scared and want to take other people to scare them, so that it has the cliche of, oh, like, como que, take the girlfriend to a scary movie so she like goes to you to feel like safer. And those things, they get related. Like, that's why they do that, and they always make the white person seem like the conqueror or the savior, when in reality all of those things can happen to all of us. Like, horror can be anywhere in any
Mm-hmm.
place, and there's a lot of untouched type of horror that doesn't always have to be like a person that like it's okay at the end of the day. Like, it doesn't, it's not what horror is about. Like, horror is fear. It doesn't always have to be someone saving the day, because sometimes you don't even save the day. Stuff happens and you
That's
end
true.
up bad. It is
But like,
true.
what kind of like
I
untouched horror do you
Yeah.
want people to touch? Like, what kind of horror do you want people to touch?
What do you mean?
Because you said that there's like some untouched horror in these films that it seem like you want people to put somewhere in the screen. Like, what kind of horrors do you want people to show?
I think it's a little relative, um, because it's not what horror you want people to see. It's other people that bring other horror. I don't know if you understand
Okay.
what I mean, but what I mean is
Mm-hmm.
like, if you've lived a certain life, you won't ever write or bring a type of horror than a person that has lived a very, very disastrous life, that knows the boundaries of what life can bring you. Like, a person that has experienced real disaster and real bad stuff. Like, those are the people that understand those things the most. And even if you haven't experienced it, it may sound mean of me, but like, horror is something very hard, because it's as far as, I guess it's as long or as far as you had gotten like scared. Like, it has to do with how much you've been scared.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's what's good about the series Them, I guess, and like movies like Get Out, that they bring other types of horror like anxiety, anger, depression, stuff like that. Like, it
Mm-hmm.
has to do with other stuff, and not just like Get Out, but I mean like the type of horror that other directors are bringing, that are not just white directors
Mm-hmm.
brings. Like, that's why Guillermo del Toro movies are so good for a lot of people,
That's true.
because he brings another perspective. Even if he's gore, though, like, he's gore, and a lot of people like gore, but like, he brings
Mm-hmm.
another type of perspective to this. I guess it's just opening up the cinematic film scene, I guess, like
Mm-hmm.
that world, to people that actually know what they're doing.
That's true, and I think we really do need that perspective, because we've been for decades with the same perspective over and over again. So it's like it's fresh to see something different. And I will bring something related to the show, specific show, in a little bit. But like I what do you think? Like, what do you think of female representation in horror? Like, you think is it been mostly good, or is it gonna be better, or is it not good? What do you think?
Okay, how many horror movies have you watched? Like, what type of horror movies? What of the latest ones have you watched?
The latest ones, well, aside
Yeah,
from the ones from Jordan Peele, I've seen
I guess give me two.
two. I mean, I think from this past decade, obviously I saw Us. I think I saw what's that? Fuck. I
Did you
remember. I
see
don't.
Hereditary?
No, that's one I haven't seen. I started also. I wanted to watch the Babadook. Wanted to watch that one a little bit. I heard it's pretty good,
Okay,
but
well,
I haven't
eh,
seen them fully yet.
well, in movies like I don't know, I guess would be part of like I was talking about the Evil Dead, like the original, not so long ago, but now I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
talk about the remake. In the remake, if you haven't seen it, I'm sorry, I don't care. It's really old. Like you should have seen it a long time
Yeah,
ago. So I
right.
don't care
It's
if I
Evil
tell you
Dead.
stuff
Come
that you
on.
don't want to know. But in like the second one, the one that gets like the one that is alive after everything, like I guess the savior of the series, I mean the movie,
Mm-hmm.
it's a woman. And in I think the other one is as above so below, that's also a woman, and there's also like that. But
Oh, I've
okay,
seen that one.
so
Yeah.
in those type of movies, the females like survive when they take characteristic of the male savior character, that it's a cliche. Like they don't survive, not all of it though, but they don't survive. I would say though, I would not add the Ari Aster movies in those in that category, but a lot of the like cliche horror movies that people love is following that. Like it's always a savior. And if the woman doesn't take the position of the man, then she won't be a triumph that like it won't be a triumph that people will like in Midsummer, that she is the savior, but she ended the movie like she saved the movie technically. Like she's the ending character. She doesn't die. And some people don't like it because the male died and like she didn't save anything. Everybody ended up dead and she's happier because of it. But that doesn't make her any less of like the main character, like the savior type. So I guess it doesn't have that. A lot of people don't like it. And in Hereditary, I guess the ending one would be the son, but it has to do a lot with the mom
Okay.
and oh Babadook, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
That one, it's I guess the female is just like, since that's a psychological horror one, I don't think it's like that taken on. Like a lot of people don't use mental instability for horror
Okay.
because it's still a very taboo subject. So I don't know. I don't know,
Like.
to be honest. I was thinking of the other question you asked me. I don't know if that was the last one you asked me, of what I wanted to show in horror, and I'm not sure. And the female representation, it's weird. It's off. I
Okay.
This last few years they've been trying to like change it, but it's usually that if it's not a woman in the male's position, it's not well accepted, the horror. I don't know if you understand what I mean.
No, no, I get it. Like, so you don't think like as of late it hasn't gotten better? You think it's just it could be way better, or it's just not? We're still not getting there.
I think. What do you mean? It could be way better. The horror, yeah, it could be. It could be, but it's what I mean. Like you have to get people that actually know horror. It's not just like anyone,
Mm-hmm.
because people like, for example, Ari Aster and Jameson. Really, I think that's the one from Get Out. Like the type of
Uh-huh.
horror they bring, it's really different from like what people like. I also like James Wan. Like he's the one from Insidious
Oh,
and The Conjuring.
Conjuring.
A lot of people don't like those, but I really prefer my horror paranormal. And that's what I wanted to say about Paranormal Activity. Like it's all the women
Mm-hmm.
happening those things, and that's like super easy to paint it like paint it on a woman. Like they're crazy, they're weird, they like that type of thing. The male is the one that's like unaware and just like the, I
Yeah.
guess the way we say, the leverage of all the bad stuff. Like where I guess I'll say this in Spanish. Oh, I can find the words in English. Who can receive the guilt of like a woman goes crazy or a ghost is haunting her. I was watching Crimson Peak
Uh
the
huh.
other day. I don't know if you've seen that one, but it's also from Guillermo del Toro, and it plays a
Mm-hmm.
lot on that. On like she's nuts because she keeps thinking a certain way, and like they don't want to believe her. And that's also what happened in them. Like, and I think in another movie, I don't remember which one. Oh, la que yo te dije que viera. A Seen and Unheard. It's from Netflix.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. That yeah, the movie you told me to watch. Yeah, I didn't. I hadn't had time to watch it, but like it has the same theme. Like the woman's crazy and she's out of her mind. It's the same
N-
theme.
No, it's just but it's that. It's because it's the easiest spray. So the person doesn't believe her and like pushes her to a corner until it ends in a really bad position.
Do you think it
I don't want to tell you
goes?
what it's about.
But do you think like now that you're bringing this stuff up, because now I'm thinking like, oh, that's kind of true. I've seen this in quite a few horror movies. Like, you think that's tied to some like sexist tendency? Because like, oh, woman's crazy. Like, men is rational, but the woman's crazy. Like, is that a way you think they're bringing that up in
I
a
think in some
way?
movies, I think in some movies would be also, but I think that has to do with other things. Like I guess the sensitivity females tend to have to those things. But yeah,
Because
if you see it from that perspective, it's very common in a horror movie or like I mean a horror, more like a paranormal horror movie that the woman is the one that's first encounters them or like a little girl. It's usually like females,
yeah,
and I think
it's
it does. But I think it's also related to the mysticism of women being seen as witches. Like
yeah,
they
yeah.
see us as witches. Always just that. Like
Hmm.
I don't know how many movies I've seen that you go into a house and the house is kind of haunted because the woman was a witch practitioner and she killed her child, or she killed herself, or she killed her husband, or she was just a practitioner and she died and she was there, and like because of that and because of her and her beliefs, now all the house is haunted. It
Mm,
happens in so many movies that I've seen.
true.
It's just so you are right. Yeah, it has to do with those type of
Yeah,
things
like
too.
because
It
I would love to
makes it
see.
easy to blame us.
Because I would love to see, and now that it hasn't been out there, I think it's pretty sure it's been out there. But I would love to see a horror movie starring a female character, written by a woman or directed by a woman or both. I think that'd be cool to see that perspective of like not bringing those stereotypes again. Like the woman's crazy, like oh the woman's always being like haunted or like going through some other stuff. Like I would love to see that. I don't know if you seen this movie. I think it's called you know the one that's like a sexual disease that's following the woman or something like that. It came out a few years ago. What was that? It was
I
huge.
think I know which one it is, but I did not see. I think it was like virus or something.
Yeah, like, I think it
Infected,
was
vaccinated.
yeah, it's like a virus something like that. I remember when people were talking about that movie's like amazing, revolutionary. So I don't know. I wanted to if you bring it up like because I know it starts with a woman. Like, do you think that was a good representation
I've
or
never seen it. Did you see it?
no? I was like, cause I was thinking about it, I was like, oh wait a minute, what about that movie? It sounds like it's revolutionary, but I don't know. I haven't seen it. I want to watch it, but let me know in the comments. Like, do you think if that movie? Let me know which movie I'm talking about. But do you think that movie's like progressive in a way with female representation? Because for me, it sounded like it was. Like, oh, like I think there's
Well,
something different. Oh, it
you're
follows.
asking
Oh, it
it that
follows.
way.
It follows. It follows. That's what the movie's called. It
Okay, I'll
follows.
check it out. I haven't seen it, but I'll tell you when I see it. But I
Mm-hmm.
think that also has them. Okay, so do you remember Jennifer's Body?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
saw a movie, right?
Yeah.
You saw a movie. That's
Yeah.
supposed to
Megan
be a
Fox.
horror movie.
Oh, it's not a horror movie. It's a,
It was.
it's,
It
it
was.
was. That's what
It
it tried to
was.
be.
And in one of those, and it's one of the rare horror movies, like Ari Aster movies, that the woman is the one that takes control of the situation indirectly, even if it's
That's
just a
true.
friend.
That's true. That's something
And like
different.
that's a theory I never understood. And you're so lagged, I can't see you well. I can hear you though. I can see you well. Okay, I can see you better now. And that's a theory that I came across some years ago, and I didn't know that it just like it's an empowering movie. Like, well, I think she got raped or assaulted, and then she started to kill all males because revenge of the males. But it wasn't only the whichever male; it was a male that was gonna hurt her some way or another.
Okay. That's,
Do you see
that's
the movie Teeth?
no, but I've heard a lot about that movie. But I'm really eager to see that movie. But what? Tell me about
You
that movie.
have to see that movie. That movie's like a cult classic.
I know. That's what I
But the
heard.
same
Again, For the people, I'm a horror newbie, so don't be surprised.
You suck at this. You're like horror.
I know my
Okay,
stuff.
so there's a series.
Mm-hmm.
There's a series on Hulu that's like BuzzFeed, BuzzFeed Unsolved or something like that. Okay, so that series, the person doesn't like one of them character doesn't see things, so he never believes you're like that character.
Oh, okay,
You're,
okay.
you're the skeptic without information.
I'm that
Anyways,
guy.
the skeptic without information. That's what I just said.
I need more information. But like, let me
You
ask you,
kind of
like,
do.
do you like this horror trait of the final girl, or do you think that's not you don't like that?
What do you mean?
Cause
I
you know,
mean the
like,
horror of the final girl.
yeah,
Mm,
you don't think
no,
that's like a
I
positive
don't
light,
care
like,
for
oh, they
it.
win. No, you don't.
No,
What?
I just don't think it's that like. I don't think it's that relevant because it depends on what you're trying to portray and the type of horror you're trying to bring and the type of like thing you're trying to like I guess como que okay, so you can write about the male being the male como que character,
Mm-hmm.
but then you can write the character doing something that can make males feel cringy or feel uncomfortable. So it really doesn't it's not necessary that a woman is all the time in front, but it is necessary that people from other ethnicities, I don't know how to say it, from other places of the planet that do not look like white people are the main characters. That is important, but it's not that important of the sex that it's there. It can even be a non-binary person. It can still be like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it
Well, like,
doesn't really matter if it's like whoever it is. A horror can be a good horror, but they should be more inclusion in people from other places because they bring other types of horror. Like the
mm-hmm.
series Them, a white person could not bring that type of horror, and if they did, I'm surprised because it's a very personal cringe horror.
Was it a
I don't know
hard?
how to explain it.
Was it hard to
I don't know how to
watch
explain it without
sometimes?
telling you.
No, like, was it hard to like? I mean,
Yeah.
because I know there's some supernatural elements, right? That's why I heard. I was like, what the fuck? There's like supernatural in this. But like because I heard there's like supernatural themes, right, in this heavy racial theme show.
Yeah, there is, but it's more like a psychological thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. But like, if you want to go deep spoilers, let's go. Like, what parts do you want to bring like the nitty gritty of the show?
I don't know. It's just so many intense parts that I don't know what I could just bring without spoiling it for real. It's really good. It's really worth watching. Like
You can
it's
spoil it.
so much worth. I
You can
won't.
spoil it.
It's
That's
too
fine.
good. I can't. I
It's too
can't. You
good.
have to watch it. It's too good.
Okay,
It's
okay.
too good for me to like the Mortal Kombat movie. Like we got into a fight. We got into a real fight because he wanted me
That's
to spoil
stupid.
him. Thanks for Mortal Kombat, and I was like, "This will not happen. You will not do this to me. You will watch that movie and you will see it by yourself."
And I did.
He
I
was
watched
like,
the movie.
he was like, "I need stuff. I need this to be this way." I'm like, "I did not make the movie, but you gotta watch it."
Okay, all right. So don't spoil the show to me. Don't spoil the show to me. But like overall, like, do you think was it good? Did it make a good representation of the themes? Like,
I hope they do another one.
okay,
I
I
hope
think I heard
they
of
do another season because it was really good.
because I think I heard they're doing season 2.
What?
I think.
Hmm.
But like, what would you give it from 1 to 10 on a scale of 1 to 10? Would you give it the whole season?
9.
Oh shit! Okay, that was higher than expected. I thought you were gonna say like an 8. Oh shit! Okay, a 9. Okay.
9. 9.
That's pretty good. Okay.
9. It's pretty good.
Okay, so I guess I'll watch it. But like, also, if you've seen them, let me know in the comments. Let us know in the comments. Like, what do you think of the show? Did you like it? Did you not like it? What parts did you like? What parts did you not like? Let us know in the
Do you want a
comments. Let's
second
talk
part?
about it. Oh yeah, do you want a second part as well, or you're like, yeah, we're good with this. Like, I don't need a season two. Like, I don't know. Let us know in the comments. But like again, I want to jump from that because, as I told you, there's a lot of racial themes in horror movies and I guess horror shows now. And it's something, like I said, for the longest time, it was always like, oh, the stereotype that everybody, it was ingrained in pop culture. It's like, oh, the black guy is gonna die. He's the first one. He's the first one who's gonna die. Like that was what was gonna be. Like you kind of expect that every time you saw like, oh, there's an actual black person in this movie. Awesome. You were like, okay, when is this person gonna die? It's only been 20 minutes. Like when is it? Like you're not gonna make it. But I
No, and
think.
they make them so scary. Like,
Mhm.
oh, he's gonna run away and stuff like that. Like, I don't remember what it is, but I remember that when I was watching Get Out, I remember who I was watching it with. But I remember that the person I was watching it with kept saying that the friend was gonna run away. Like he was not gonna go, that he was gonna be scared and he was gonna die. But in Get
Mm,
Out, that's the one that saves the day. The best
that's
friend is his intuition.
yeah. That's why I love it because
Yeah, like
I was like, no, yeah, like
mhm.
in most
What?
movies, like yeah, of course they always, well, maybe not always, but most times they always maybe put them. Or actually, no. The thing is, in most movies, when they actually do put a black character, they're almost always the smartest one. There's always the white people. They're like, let's go check out this haunted house, and the black person was like, what the fuck? Like, we're not gonna check that out. Like let's be sensible. Let's get the
It's like
hell
it's
out of
not an
here.
important house.
No, it's not important. Like, there's a killer in there. Let's get out of here. And there's always the white people who are like, no, man, let's check it out. There has to be something in there, something personal for me in there. Like, dude, white people, listen, relax. But at least they put
Yeah, because
that
but they also
perspective.
put them like they're but they put them like they couldn't be they put them like skeptics. They put them like people that don't believe
Mm.
that well, because they don't believe in weird stuff, they die. So that's kind
Oh,
of
I
what
didn't
happened,
think.
because they don't
Okay.
follow their intuition. Even though they're smart, they're kind of dumb to those
Mm.
things. Kind of what it
Uh,
feels like to me.
okay, I didn't think about the perspective. That could be true. That could be true. I always thought of them. At least they always put them as the smartest people in the room because the other people are always like, let's go check this out. Like, let's go. You have to go there instead of
Then
like
why
they
would
have.
I then,
Go ahead.
then why would a smart person need saving?
No,
It
no,
happens. It happens like in things like Danny Phantom and stuff like that. Because I was thinking of that right now. Like things like that in a lot of series, and even not just in horror and other stuff. Why, if they put the black person as a smart person, why does the person constantly need saving from the white dude?
because
Why? He's smart.
racism, racism. That's all it is.
I was
Because
I was
uh,
watching not so long ago one of my favorite series, and I watched it because I love it, but it's so racist. It's so racist with everything and everyone and with all,
which
and
show?
it has a psych.
Oh, Psych. Okay.
It's a comedy show.
Yeah, I know that. I thought you meant
Yeah,
Danny Phantom.
and the second main character, no, and the second main character, and the second main character is a black person that's really smart, yet he always needs saving from the cookie weird friend,
Mm-hmm.
white friend.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of like
that's
if
true.
in real life you don't see smart people like receiving help. It's usually smart people the ones that are doing the helping.
Uh, that's true.
They
And
always want
like,
to portray them as weak.
yeah, as weak or as like, yeah, that's true. It's like weak because like I always saw them with perspective like, oh, they're smarter than everybody because they're sensible to be like, no, like what are we doing here? But I guess we can also see in that way that they're making him look weak because oh, the other people are brave enough to go through that house or go through this haunted area. It's always a black person that's always scared. I'm like, oh, I always hate those movies when they make him like super scared and like, oh, they gotta do like the buck eyed, like racist ass imagery, like, oh my god, and oh my god, I hate that shit. But that's true. I can be seen like that. Like, oh, go
But
ahead.
you know
Sorry.
what? You can also see in the movies, no, it's okay. In the movies where the person is like the sensitive one, and he's just like, okay, I'm gonna leave because y'all stupid, and I'm gonna leave, and you guys do whatever you need to do. And when a person detaches themselves from the main story, they get attacked and they die first.
that that's true. That's true, and it's pretty like very racist.
So when
And
they follow the smart intuition, they still die.
they still do. Of course, it's like it's very racist, and we've seen that for a lot of times. And every time, for whatever reason, like when they do die, most times they die the most graphic version or way. They had to show the whole blood. They have to show like every detail of them being killed when other people are not as killed that graphically. So it's like Jesus Christ, like why we got to do this to them? Like that's really fucked up. So like I think that's the thing. And like even in Friday 13th, I think we see that in other slasher movies. Like they always, most times, they have to die like super horribly. So like I'm grateful that in this past decade we've seen some progression. We've seen some black voices directing these stories, starring black people. But like I didn't even, because I haven't seen this movie. I always thought, sometimes I've seen it here and there, but I didn't think it was gonna be this deep or have these racial themes. But have you seen this? I think it's 1992's Candyman. Have you seen that movie?
I have.
Like apparently,
Weird.
like it does bring racial themes. Because I think the villain, I guess the Candyman. I think he's like a son of a slave, something like that, right? I think they do bring something in relation to that. I know there's gonna be a reboot, well, a sequel coming out that's supposed to come out last year, but pandemic hit, so we hasn't come out yet. But apparently, it's going really deep into those ritual themes. So it's good to see, like even the '90s, they tried to do a little bit of trying to get to those themes, but
No, in all the '90s movies, in all the '90s and '80s movies, it's in the past, I guess, 2 decades that it has changed. But en la pegada de 90, there's racism all over.
oh, I know it's racist all over. But at least Candyman, like at least tried from what I read, it's like they tried to like go into those themes, but obviously not being racist, but like trying to bring those racial themes of slavery or things like that, but a racism like in a light that's telling you like, okay, this is not cool. But I think it's when Get Out came out, that's when it became like a whole revolutionary thing. It was like, oh my god, they're actually speaking about racism, kind of not blatantly, but you can tell it's obviously about racism. How white people and how they want to
It
put,
is. It's super intensely about
yeah,
about racism.
it's like, yeah, like super about racism and how they want to use their bodies to transport their consciousness into them because they're athletic and fit or any of those things. Like all of that, even from all that crazy stuff in the end, even from the beginning, just the fear of being caught or captured by a white person. That was super interesting. It's something I haven't seen in horror, but like what do you think of Get Out? Did you like it? Did you like that movie?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I was thinking about how they also, that's part of racism, to portray white people, from like black people, as stronger as white, but at the same time not.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I guess it's part of it. Like you were saying those things, and I was remembering um a scene from them where some three white dudes are harassing the main family's dad,
Mm-hmm.
and he's on some stairs on the rooftop, and they like start like go up at him, and he makes them like super scared. He looks at them and he says something like, kind of like eating onto the type of thought that like black people are crazy, and they're crazy, like abusive and crazy violent. He added to
Mm-hmm.
that to scare them and drive them away, and it worked. And I think that also
Mm-hmm.
has to do with what they showed in Get Out. I like it. I think it's a good movie. It's a good perspective. I like how it ended. If it ended another way, I think I would have been very disappointed, because
Mm-hmm.
you know what, you sometimes do need a hero in a story.
Yeah, it's like because even though I knew that Jordan Peele, who is a black person who I don't know who wrote the movie and directed the movie, I was still by the end of the movie. I thought like, is he seriously gonna kill him at the end of the movie? Like, I mean, I don't. I was like, That would have been interesting if we actually kill him because just because I'm the black person doesn't mean I have to let this black person live. I thought that would have been I don't know, maybe he could have done a message through that. Like if he did that, if he actually killed him and saying like, oh, people still die. Doesn't matter who you are, like, you can still die. But I still like that. Hey,
I think that like the type of horror. Tell me.
no, no, go ahead, go ahead.
Dime.
No, no, that I did
Like
like
I
at
think
the end.
uh-huh.
Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead. You go ahead.
No,
I'll shut up.
habla tú.
No, okay.
Why?
No,
Keep
I'm just saying that
talking.
I did like how at the end he did survive, like, and he was saved by his best friend, and like you said, like the best friend could have been that goofy comedic relief, like he's not smart or whatever, but no, throughout the whole movie, we've seen that he is smart, and so by the end, actually saving him, I was like, oh, that's actually awesome, and I really enjoy that. So that was a cool little ending. I didn't love the ending. I don't know if you agree with me. I didn't love it. I thought it could have been a little better, but I still like that idea of being saved and actually by the friend and not by a white person or whatever. So, but anyway, what were you gonna say? What were you gonna say? Sorry.
That there are types. You don't have to say sorry, but there are types of horror that are also about hope. Like those
Mm,
horrible things happen, but at the end of the day, someone saved the day. It's also like a superhero action horror movie, but in horror. And I think that's one of the. I think that's the type of movie like Jason really likes to do, like hope at the end of the tunnel. Like even if you
yeah,
have to cross a bad path, at the end of it, you're like okay ish. I think it also
yeah.
happened in Us, though I do not remember the finale of Us.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I'll talk about us in a while, but like I said, like Get Out was the one that revolutionized horror because like we're actually putting the black perspective in horror. We're actually doing something that's not the stereotypical shit and people are getting so fucking tired of. So that was cool, and so it kind of made this subgenre of black horror, I guess you can say. Like I said, they're gonna do Candyman, and maybe this year's I think it's coming out. Last year, I don't know if you saw this movie with Antebellum came out with Jeanette Monet, who I heard the movie's not that good. I don't. Have you not heard of this movie?
No, I haven't.
No, like this movie's about like
Let me look it up.
this woman from like in modern times. It's like this virtual reality thing where you get transported into the 1800s during like slavery stuff like that. So of course it's like almost like a Get Out thing because she's transported back into those horrible times. So like it sounds interesting, but this is something that I'll bring up later. But yeah, anyway, like that movie did the whole
But
racial
we don't have
theme.
much time for later. You keep saying later, and I look at the
No,
hour.
because
We're
like
already
because
going to this hour soon.
I have it planned out. But I'm just gonna end it. I'm gonna end this right here. The thing is, like, I do like how
But you're so frozen.
am I so
Okay,
frozen?
there you go. You're back.
Okay. So
Yeah,
no,
you're
like
back.
I'm
You're
saying,
back.
like in this since Get Out, like we have seen this perspective of racial themes with black people being touched, to touch about our reality. But here's the thing, and this is what we would disagree. But I think a lot of people do agree that I'm kind of tired of bringing this whole racial stuff because I know there's a topic we have to keep making it relevant because it's a reality that we still face nowadays. But I will love a different perspective from a black a black people because most movies now they still do this. It's like we have to still touch upon racism. We still have to touch about how white
But
people are
we do.
scary.
That's the core of everything.
But it's like
It's still gonna come out.
I know, but it's like I want to give them something different. Like let's put them in another different light. It doesn't have to do with white people are scary and like this. Let's make them look like, for example, like entrepreneurs. Or like let's make them deal with other like what was this show that came out on HBO? What it's based on HP Lovecraft stuff. I forgot the name of the show, but apparently in that show they do touch upon racist stuff, but it's not all about that. And so most movies, again, they still do that whole thing. Like even outside of horror, like movies like The Help or movies like The Blind Side or whatever. Like movies where like black people or like white people are scary and
But they
racism is
are
shit.
not that many. They're not that many. It's
That
just not enough.
even then,
No,
that's
it's
why
not that.
that's why I didn't want to watch them because them sounded like the same shit over and over again. Like, oh, like white people is scary and black people are always scrutinized by racism. And that, again, that's something that happens nowadays. But it's like I want to see them in light. What doesn't have to be related to racism. Let's make them put in a better, more
But it's not
positive
just
light.
white people are scary, is white people are sick. White
That's true.
people are mentally sick.
No. That is true. That is true. I want to just make them put in a horror movie that's nothing had to do with racism. You know, I want to put them in a different setting. Some story doesn't have to do with that. I know that's a reality that they faced, and that's something we have to still touch upon. But I would like to see them like what they do with white people. Like white people are not always talking about racism and shit like that. They always dealing with other
Because
stories.
they don't feel it. Because they
I
don't feel
know,
it.
I know, but like let's instead of let's put the same story, but instead of have this white guy, let's just put this black person and not change anything. Like I would love to see a movie like that, and that's something that, like for
You want to
example,
see
us.
a cliche horror movie? Is that what you're telling me?
No,
Because
no,
you don't
no,
want to
no.
see a
Not a cliche. I just want to see a story that doesn't have to rely on racism again because oh, it starts a black person. Like I want to see that. I want to
because
see
it
them.
has everything in life. Everything in life is the core of that, and violence. That's what the core of our society. That's the true horror. That people can think that it can be anything or any ghosts or any demons because it's always just like that. Because white people have to look for like other entities to scare them because they don't face fear in their daily lives. And people that do face racism in their daily lives, they face horror in their daily lives. And people that get violence upon them, they face horror daily.
I
And the
know.
horror
Okay.
is not just like constant fear, panic, oh, ghosts, no, a tree raping me. No. Fear is fear is not being able to walk alone a certain place because you're scared of people following you. Fear
Mhm.
is you not being able to walk alone at night without a cop stopping you thinking that you stole something. Like I think that's why racism in movies should stay in horror movies, and they should keep making those movies, and they should keep making them as much as they could because it's another perspective of what people don't see. People
But
always see
no, that's
they
true.
don't understand that people can be horrible without ghosts or
No,
curses.
no, and that's true. But it's like that's the thing that we're still repeating over and over. That's my issue. It's the thing that's they're doing in everything. It's like okay, we can still do the stories, but like let's put some diversity with the stories. Let's not do the same. Oh, the white people are like racism is horrifying. The police is this and that. Like for example, Us, which is another movie from Jordan Peele. Like that movie, it's not about racism stuff like that. Like we see this upper middle class black family who like the whole thing is about like I'm not gonna spoil the movie, but like it has nothing to
It's
do.
still about racism. Yeah, it does. It
I don't
does.
remember that. I don't remember anything like that being touched upon. Maybe
But
here and there.
those are little hints
Yeah, maybe
that
like
make
little
it part of
things.
the horror.
No, that's true. Maybe some little things, but it's not like this huge theme like in Get Out, because that's the whole point of the movie, like racism and stuff like that. So I like that Us change
But it's
things
another
and
type of racism. It's not just the racism of the white slave from I don't know where the son like Candyman, that it has to do with like I'll say this one, el año de la guacara. It has to do with the present, with the racism in the present. That's why I like it. And closest to it, I like them because that's what I was gonna tell you not so long ago, that in them they don't portray the racism in the cliche way. They portray it in a real one. Like it's
okay.
intense. It's intense. It's an intense. Like it's not just like the whole series, but there's an intense episode that's cataclysmic of everything. It's just
And
it's
and
good.
again, like, I mean, that's something that we should still talk about. But I'm also tired of again showing how black people are being tortured by white people, and like we have to show that graphically, like in most a lot of movies, even outside like Django, like oh we have to see this black guy getting killed and mauled by a dog. Like, okay, I get it, but I was like, we really need to keep showing that shit. Let's put them in something in a better light. Like I don't want to see that shit of being like tortured and haunted by white people. It's like I know that's a
But it's a
reality.
horror movie.
I know, but like
It's
this,
a horror movie.
I know, but I want to give this a different perspective and not to
Well, what do
say we
you
don't have to
want? Them
rely
to
on
have a
that.
happy life?
No, why can't they have a happy life? Why can't they have a happy life?
Because it's a horror movie. Vamos a empezar por ahí.
I mean, sometimes
We're
like
talking
in the
about. I understand your point in other
Mhm.
movies, in other type of genres, but in horror, it's they have
sometimes
to
horror
die.
has
Someone has to die.
sometimes horror movies end like other couples still together and they're happy. Like, why can't we see that? Why can't we see
Well,
that with
we've
black
seen
people?
it
But yeah, I want to see that with
because
black
because
people.
because we need more movies with people that show other sides of their lives and other perspectives, and not just black people, but also Latinos and
Mm-hmm.
people from Asia and other places that are not so well recognized. Middle Eastern people that don't come into the screen so much. Like you need to see other perspectives so that you
Mm-hmm.
get shown another type.
Yeah,
It's
and
just that.
that's what I want. It's like it seems like we're in that new era with like the Jordan Peele and these new writers, these different voices they're coming out and to do horror. And so I'm very excited to see that. I want to see like what else can they do, what originality can they bring. So I really want to see that, but I don't want to see the same thing over and over again. I want to see something fresh and not tied with the
You don't
same
see
theme.
horror.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And for this show, I'll see more. So, like, if you want to see me, if you want to recommend me some horror movies, shoot it down in the comments.
Go
I'll watch it.
right to see if I haven't watched it.
Like, hey,
It's been a pleasure.
oh no, hey, like earlier, I was watching Mystery. That's a pretty good movie. I was liking it.
Okay, I think this is where we wrap it up.
You don't like
It's
Mystery?
been a pleasure.
You don't like Mystery?
It's been a pleasure. I think this is the time we wrap it up.
What?
How do we?
Yo,
And cut.
Omni is a Stephen King hater. She doesn't like Stephen King books.
It's not that I don't like it. It's just that you're
I
wrap
watch.
it.
It's a good horror movie. What?
It's not a movie about racism. We can talk about it.
Okay. I was just saying, like, hey, you're saying I don't watch horror movies. I watch horror movies. What's up? I watched it. What's both?
Okay, goodbye.
So no, sorry. Anything else we want to bring up with this topic, or like any last final thoughts on this or on them or whatever?
No final thoughts. I just think it's a topic that's gonna keep coming, and you're gonna have to, in nice way, chupártelo, because it's gonna come,
Oh.
and you have to deal with it. And people should write more about racism.
Oh, I don't know. It's repetitive. It's so tiring. But whatever. We'll see what happens in this next couple of upcoming years.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
No,
it's been a pleasure. I will vamos.
No, hey, you're my co-host. You can't leave. You can't leave like a ghost. You can't just do that. You can't.
Say goodbye. Say goodbye. It's been an hour. It's been an hour.
It's been an hour. Damn, it's been an hour. It's a good podcast. But like anything else, like you want to, anything you want to plug, your social medias, what you're doing.
No social media plugging. No, find me if you can.
You don't want people to
find.
Oh, okay.
Find me if you.
Find her
find
if
me
you
if
can.
you can.
Okay. And be on the lookout for her published stories coming soon. It's coming out.
Coming soon. Coming soon.
Her writing's pretty good, but like, yeah. So this has been a pretty good first episode. If you guys want like recommend any topics you want to talk about, or like, hey, you guys should watch this movie, watch this show, rate this book. I don't know. Recommend us. We'll try to get in here. We'll try to get into the show. So stay tuned for more. I don't know the whole schedule of the show yet. I don't know if it's gonna be weekly or bi-weekly or month. I don't know. We'll figure it out, the two of us. But so stay tuned because more episodes
It'll be figured out.
We'll figure it out. So please, if you like this podcast, please give it a like, share, and subscribe for more episodes of this show, or for other podcasts, or for reviews, reactions, whatever is in the channel. It's probably here. I'll make it. So thank you again. My name is. Yes. What do you say?
No, send it to your parents and everyone so that you share it.
Yes,
And you
please
see it.
share with your friends, share it with your horror like aficionados community, share all that stuff. We'll do a lot more stuff. So please give a like, share, and subscribe. So my name is Sebastián Sierra.
No.
What?
And I'm Omni. What? No.
What happened? No what?
No, and I'm Omni.
And I
This is all.
okay. That's the mystery part of the show. We will never know what she wanted to bring up. So her name's Omni, my name is Sebastián Sierra, y yo seguiré aquí hablando shit.